I remember being sent to my room after a walk with my mom and siblings. I had gone too far, and she couldn't see me in her view. She told me this wasn't safe to do, and I had to stay close to her. But I was a kid, and I didn't know any better. I thought it was fine to wander off away from her. Because of this, my mom sent me to my room, putting me in timeout. She had given me clear rules, and I had broken them, so I had to face my consequences. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Off the Record. I'm your host, Adela, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that's key to parenting styles and how they influence child development. So you've probably heard of the terms authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, and neglectful when it comes to parenting styles. These terms were first introduced by a psychologist back in the 1960s, and they continue to shape how we understand parenting today. Let's break down what each of these styles looks like, starting with authoritative. Authoritative parents are warm and responsive, but they also set clear boundaries and expectations. An example for this parenting style would be my mom. She gave me rules and also enforced them. They not only enforce rules, but they explain them. These parents are great at balancing warmth and structure. They encourage open communication and provide reasoning behind decisions. This parenting style tends to foster high self-esteem, emotional regulation, social competence, and strong academic performance in children. Research shows that children raised by authoritative parents tend to develop emotional intelligence, which is critical for navigating both personal and social challenges. In fact, studies have found that authoritative parenting is closely linked to higher emotional intelligence in children, because it teaches children how to regulate and express their emotions in healthy ways. My own research shows that authoritative is the most common for college students, while having a slight mix of multiple styles. One parent might have one type of style, while the other has a different one. All in all, authoritative parenting is about guiding children with understanding and support, while also making sure they know what's expected of them. It's a style that promotes independence, critical thinking, and a healthy sense of responsibility. On the flip side, authoritarian parenting is more about control than connection. While authoritarian and authoritative sound similar, they are very different. Parents who follow this style are typically very strict and expect unquestioned obedience. They have high demands but offer little warmth or nurturing. The rules are set, and there's little room for negotiation or discussion. While children raised by authoritarian parents often have good discipline and can follow instructions, they tend to struggle with self-esteem, emotional regulation, and social skills. They might also have a harder time making independent decisions because they've been trained to rely on external authority rather than their own judgment. This lack of emotional connection and autonomy can hinder the development of emotional intelligence. Now let's talk about permissive parenting, which is sometimes called indulgent parenting. Permissive parents are warm and loving, but they often avoid setting boundaries or enforcing rules. They prefer to be more of a friend than a parent, letting children make their own decisions, sometimes without much guidance. While this approach can result in a close, emotionally supportive relationship between parent and child, it can also lead to problems with behavior and self-control. Kids raised with permissive parenting may struggle with authority, have difficulty following rules, and often act impulsively because they haven't learned how to manage their desires or emotions within set boundaries. While children might feel loved, they might not learn the essential skills needed to manage stress, frustration, and other strong emotions in socially appropriate ways. Lastly, we have neglectful parenting, which is characterized by a lack of both warmth and structure. These parents are uninvolved in their children's lives, either emotionally or physically. There may be neglect in terms of providing adequate supervision, support, and attention. Children raised in neglectful households often face significant developmental challenges. They might struggle with forming healthy relationships, regulating their emotions, and often deal with feelings of insecurity. The lack of both emotional support and clear expectations can lead to behavioral and emotional problems as a child grows. Without the foundational emotional and cognitive support provided by more engaged parenting styles, children in neglectful environments can face long-term struggles, with emotional intelligence and social competence. Now that we've looked at the 4 styles, it's important to understand that there's no one approach to parenting. Parenting is dynamic. It needs to be flexible and responsive to the child's needs, developmental stage, and personality. For example, a toddler needs more supervision and clear boundaries than a teenager, and a teenager needs more boundaries and supervision than, say, an adult. The good news is that many parents don't strictly follow one style. According to most of my surveyors, most parents use a combination of these approaches depending on the situation. They said that there is a change in how their parents parented their siblings rather than them. A couple people said that because they were the oldest, they had more rules and their parents were more strict. With their siblings, the younger kids had more freedom and the parents were more lenient. There will be challenges with parenting, like with everything, and you won't always get it right. But by being reflective and open to learning, you can adjust your parenting approach to help your child grow into a well-rounded, emotionally resilient person. And remember, parenting is about progress, not perfection. Thank you for joining me on today's episode on Off the Record. If you found this episode helpful, please consider subscribing to the podcast. Until next time, take care.